Twitter shows a number of ambulances and other medical personnel that are outside of the school. Just from this picture that I'm looking at, I count 4 or 5.
Yeah, I'm looking at this right now too. Now I'm starting to see multiple pictures on Twitter showing, there's a lot of police cars outside the school right now. I wonder if we can pull some of these up on our tag board. Producer, think we can do that? If we just using the hashtag Great Mills High School, there's lots of pictures surfacing right now on Twitter that shows emergency personnel, lots of police there on the scene. In some of these pictures, the sun, you can see, has just come up over the horizon, because in some pictures it's not even that bright.
And I think it's also important.
Oh, you come over here? So we have Eric Flagg joining us right now.
Eric, what can you add?
Well, and I heard you guys talking about...
it's crazy.
I have a little bit of information to add about that. I just got off the phone with the spokesman for the Baltimore field office. They're all heading to the scene right now. Right now, they are saying that they are not the lead agency, not the lead investigative agency on that case. I think that could probably change right now. They're still saying the Sheriff's Department is going to be the lead agency in that investigation. There is that 9 a.m. press conference. We're still not sure.
Yep, it is close to you.
Taking the lead in that.
So what does that mean, though? What does that mean in your opinion? Like, why would the ATF be involved in this at this point?
Well, I mean, I think that I asked that question specifically. I said, what are you guys there to do? And I think they're there to provide whatever assistance they can to the investigators there in the county, the Sheriff's Department. The ATF is obviously going to have the technology to trace a gun, find out where that gun came from. They can also have the technology to trace a bullet, to connect it to other sorts of crimes or incidents. So really, I think anytime a local agency is going to investigate any sort of a crime, when they want to get to the bottom of the gun and where the gun came from.
Yeah, I didn't see it anywhere else, so I just decided to post it. Thanks for joining.
It's going to be the ATF's job to trace that gun, find out where it came from, how the shooter got that gun, and the history of that gun.
So Mike Valerio tweeted this out earlier. He's the one who said he talked to some of his contacts also, and he's on the phone with us right now. Hey, Mike, are you there?
Hey, I'm right here. Hey, can you guys hear me?
Mike, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me? I'm right here.
Okay, we can't hear you right now. I don't know if our folks at home can hear you.
Okay. Hey, Mike, get us up to speed. You've been on the phone since you've been making your way down to the school at Great Mills High School. What have you learned since you left the station?
Well, I've been speaking, if you can hear me, I've been speaking with my contacts at the FBI here in Washington.
Yeah, it's very slippery and rainy out.
To the level of them getting
calling for some snow in the area.
The shooting, as far as we've been able to garner, has been contained, and it hasn't risen to the threshold of getting the FBI from the field up.
Who knows what Trump's going to say about it?
Derek Flagg was just speaking. He's spoken with people from the ATF in Baltimore, as I have as well. They're getting special agents, both of them in Hyattsville. They're field up in Hyattsville for the purpose exactly of St. Mary's. They need assistance with determining how this weapon was purchased, if the person responsible for the shooting was supposed to have this weapon, and if there were more than one firearm involved here. So that is the forensic know-how that the ATF from Baltimore will be providing. Of course, they're one of the best offices in the country, I would say, next to New York and Washington, who are involved in this line of work. But they are not the primary agency involved in this right now. St. Mary's is taking the lead. The FBI was notified. The FBI here in Washington did extend their hand to help. But with Maryland State Police, the ATF, and St. Mary's, they have said that they are not predicting that they will need help from the FBI at this early juncture, just based on that the shooting is contained. But as more details become known on the suspect and this person's motivations for the shooting, that can certainly change. I also spoke with our contacts from the FBI and the ATF on the suspect and this person's motivation. And at this juncture right now, we believe that the first group this morning, they're now prepared to comment on the record as as it relates to the suspect.
And Mike, you keep talking. You mentioned a couple times suspect. Do we know specifically whether or not there was a suspect or suspects involved in the shooting?
There's some conflicting information, and I'm not comfortable reporting definitively suspect information right now. We want to be respectful of law enforcement and their processes, and they aren't, at this very early juncture, about a half hour into their mobilization, comfortable commenting on the record on that.
Okay, so you're going in and out a little bit, so I might not have caught this. Perhaps you did, so forgive me if you already repeated this. But did you say that they do have a suspect in custody, though?
They are, I'm not going to go into that. They're just sort of on the record saying the line that the situation is contained. So we're just going to leave it at that at the moment.
So containment would lead some to believe that there is no longer an ongoing threat.
That's right.
If they have that containment.
Exactly.
How far away are you from Great Mills High School currently?
We just left D.C., so we're making our way, and we're just making phone calls to the FBI here in D.C. and the ATF in Baltimore as well. There are a few people I know in their field offices. These are special agents who are based in both offices in Hyattsville who are making their way to St. Mary's right now.
So are you hearing also that there's multiple injuries and that multiple people have been taken to the hospital?
We're hearing certainly that there are around 4 patients, which is the early indication that I've gotten from 2 people who are familiar with the matter and what happened at the high school. I want to run that by a couple more people, but they are I don't want to say intent, but they are somewhat relieved that at this point, based on the headlines that we've seen from the specter of shootings that have followed this country over the past couple weeks and months, for that matter, that the situation isn't contained and that this is going to escalate into something bigger. But I think that we are certainly safe to report that a couple people have been looked at by first responders, by medics. I'm getting 4 people at this very early stage, so that's what we're reporting right now.
Yeah, so ATF, the headquarters, did just tweet out too that they are also headed to the high school. So,
all right, looks like Mike, are you there? Looks
yeah.
like, okay, yeah. You're still here. Okay, do you have another question for me, Jim?
No. I'm looking at Twitter right now, and the ATF they tweeted out also too that they are sending agents there from 2 different field offices. They're en route. Just like Valerio is at this point. So, and again, Valerio just mentioned potentially 4 people taken to the hospital. We know multiple people have been taken to the hospital. We do not know. I don't know, Mike, if you've heard, if it's students or teachers and faculty. Have you heard?
I've heard early indications, but again, we just want to solidify the reporting, so I don't want to go on the record with who may be hurt here.
Okay.
All right, Mike, if anything develops, you get more information, please call us back, and we will take you right away, okay, buddy?
Definitely.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you so much. Do want to let you know that Governor Larry Hogan has just recently put out a tweet regarding the situation, saying that we are closely monitoring the situation at Great Mills High School. This tweet just came down about 7 minutes ago. Maryland State Police is in touch with local law enforcement and ready to provide support. Our prayers are with students, school personnel, and first responders. This just coming from the governor about 7 minutes ago regarding the shooting at Great Mills High School.
But like you said before, Larry, when you hear the word that the situation has been contained, when you get that kind of information, you're led to believe that you have a suspect in custody at this point. Right. And even though Mike Valerio did not want to go on record because his sources did not want this to go on record, that is what that particular statement would lead you to believe. We do know, though, at this point, for parents who are watching, that the school is still very much on lockdown and that the investigation is still very active. We're looking at Twitter at this point, and I just want to read a couple of tweets here. This one is from Kelly, who wrote, school shooting in my neck of the woods. My son goes to a different school, and it's taking everything I have not to jump in the car and go pick him up. Prayers, she writes, go out to Great Mills High School.
And that's a reasonable reaction for parents.
Absolutely. And a lot of parents will have that reaction when they first hear this.
So right now, again, we just read it a second ago, but that's the governor's tweet. Governor Larry Hogan commenting on the shooting at Great Mills High School, again, saying in part that our prayers are with the students, school personnel and first responders. They're keeping a close eye on that situation, and I imagine that as things develop and things change, the governor is also getting that information as well. We've been talking about reunification for parents that have students at Great Mills High School. Again, we were told, at least from the school, that those students will be sent to Leonardtown High School, which is a nearby high school off of Route 5. That is where parents will be reunited with their children. Again, we still have 4 people, at least what we know, according to Mike Valerio's reporting. And again, we're still going to work on getting additional information.
Yeah, that's the naval base close by.
At least 4 people have been taken to the hospital with injuries associated with the shooting at the school. So parents do know that, at least according to police as well as the school system itself, that this situation is contained. And containment, as far as we know, is that they have everything under control.
Okay. We are waiting for someone on our phone lines right now. We have multiple people calling in, giving us information, and there is a few people who live in that area who can tell us a little bit more about what they are seeing and also about the area in general. I don't know. I'm sorry, producer. Do we have that person on the phone still? Okay, we're still working on that. In the meantime, Larry, you just mentioned exactly what we all need to keep reporting, and that is parents. You know, if you're in a panic mode right now and you're worried about your child, again, please go to Leonardtown High School and meet in the auditorium. That's where the reunification process will take place.
And this is going to take some time, too, to get those students to that high school. You got to imagine that Great Mills High School has 1,600 students. That's not even including the staff members that are there as well. They have to ship all of those students to the neighboring high school and to make sure that they're accounted for as well. As somebody who's worked in a public school, I can tell you it's a process that you have to go through.
Yes.
And
you got to clear all the students, too.
You have to clear the students. You have to make sure that the rooms are secure and that every student in your class and in the building is accounted for what you know.
It's not just the accountability for that, but also, too, we still do not know who the suspect is or who could be involved, who else might be involved at this point. Right. So just like we saw with what happened in Florida, they're going to be checking backpacks. They're going to be checking every single student. They're going to be questioning students to find out what they might know before they even release any of these students. This is going to be a long process.
Because as we saw in the shooting in Parkland, that the suspects started to blend in with the students.
That's right.
And so this is a maneuvering situation that the investigators will have to go through to make sure that the people that need to be protected are protected and that those that need to be arrested do, in fact, get arrested.
That's right. And, you know, it's interesting because we keep showing the location of Great Mills High School, and we're also showing Leonardtown High School as well. If you're thinking that you're a parent and you're going to be able to go to either of these schools and see your child right away, this could be a process that could take all day at this point.
Yeah.
And so if you are able to get a hold of your child via phone, we know a lot of teenagers have phones these days, and this is how some of the parents are finding out. That's going to be your best mode of communication.
So, Eric, you're back with us. What do you got?
Yeah, I just got off the phone with a spokesperson for the hospital, St. Mary's Hospital. It's about 15 minutes from the high school. They are treating patients from that school shooting. They're not saying how many right now. They're going to have a 10 a.m. phone call with the executives within that hospital to determine how they're going to move forward as far as alerting the media as to the extent of the injuries, how many people were injured, what types, whether it was students or teachers, what they're talking about. But again, the latest information just got off the phone
50 miles away from
with the
DC,
spokesperson
Washington,
from
DC.
MedStar St. Mary's Hospital.
Is this where all the patients are being taken?
They wouldn't say specifically, but I got into, you know, a lot of times in rural areas, they don't have the capability to treat certain critical injuries.
Right.
That is not the case with MedStar St. Mary's, according to the PR spokesperson. They did tell me that they are able to treat critical injuries. They are the closest hospital to that high school, and they did confirm they are treating patients.
50 miles, 50,
how many,
50.
and they would not talk about the extent of the injuries.
Stay with us here, Eric, if you can, unless you need to make some phone calls real quick, because we want to go to our phone lines right now. Bishop Robert Wilson joins us. He lives in the area, and he called us to give us more information about what he is seeing. Good morning. Thanks for calling in.
Here we go.
Can you hear us?
Hello, yes.
Hi. Can you tell us more about what you know?
Well, all I know is that in my community, that it's a military area, retirement, country suburb, People have farms and houses, very quiet community. And the people